Of Chicago Bulls Central. I'm your host here, Haize, and we are going to host a pregame show for Denver Nuggets versus the Chicago Bulls going down in Chicago at the United Center. We're going to break it all down, what we expect, what we want to see from the team, who we think is going to have a big game. We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, we got Bulls basketball back after what feels like forever, man. This has been the longest stretch that we've gone without Bulls basketball since the season started. So this is going to be interesting to see how the Bulls come out, right? They don't have the excuses of coming out flat, things like that in this game. They're going to have to come out and play well. And as I said on the prediction show, the Bulls are going to have to execute in every facet of the game tonight. There's just no other way around it, no excuses for it. They're going to have to come in, play big games tonight on the defensive and offensive end, especially on the boards. They're going to have to look out for that. The Denver Nuggets are one of the best teams as far as shooting percentage in the NBA. Matter of fact, they are first in the NBA in shooting percentage. They rank like 22nd, I think, in defense and top 10 in offense. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bulls really respond to it, how they come in, what they look to do, how they take advantage. Bones Highland is apparently out of this game, which, considering the season he's having off the bench for the Denver Nuggets, I'm glad that he's there. We also have Kobe White out for us, and of course Lonzo Ball as well, as you already know. So yeah, that's what we have right now. Bill Sammy says, on my way to the game as we speak. Well, thank you for watching us on your way to the game. Be safe out there, brother. Jacob Capone to Don said, what up, phone them. What's going on, brother? Shay in the building. Watch Patrick Williams give Aaron Gordon that help. Well, I don't think he's going to be guarding Aaron Gordon. I think he's going to be guarding Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. is a bigger threat to go off. And DeMar DeRozan has guarded Aaron Gordon pretty well. So I don't think that Patrick Williams is going to be guarding Aaron Gordon. And if he even does, I think he's going to split his time between him and Michael Porter Jr., kind of like he did between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in the Denver game. So there you go. What's up, Haize? How's it going? What's going on, Emmanuel? I'm doing pretty good, brother. Glad to get some Bulls basketball in the building. Certification, Poppy. What's going on, brother? You got to keep the name, bro. Don't lie to us. Oh, you must have saw the Twitter post. Hey, listen, I make no promises. What's Haize? I need a W tonight from the Bulls so I can go into work happy. Well, Jamal, I hope that you get what you need, bro. Like, I hope we all get a Bulls win. It's just better after a Bulls win. We all know if the Bulls lose, and I'm going to come in the post-game show flaming motherfuckers. So hopefully we get a Bulls win, right? Hopefully we do. I think that when you look at the way that this team matches up, this team is going to have to play a really solid defensive game on basically everyone, and kind of let Jokic do what they do. I think they needed to make Jokic be a scorer in this game, which we all know Jokic can score, but if they can limit what he does passing wise, right? Limit his options out there. Jamal Murray, who's having a down year as far as three-point shooting from what we're used to seeing from him, but Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, they can't let these players get hot. They can't. And the reason why I said I'm glad that Bones Highland is out of this game is because Bones Highland is having a really good, productive season for the Denver Nuggets, averaging 14 points off the bench for them and a PER of 15. But the Bulls usually let the role players go off. So the fact that we don't have that, but now we got to defend everything else. Look out for Jeff Green in this one as well. Just things in it. This is also a team that, while he hasn't been playing to the level of how Andre Drummond has for us, DeAndre Jordan really has been playing efficiently for the Denver Nuggets off the bench. So, this is two teams that are going to have centers in there that can do things the whole game. So seeing how the Bulls respond to that, seeing how they react to that is going to be real key tonight. Like I said, this is going to have to be a game where the Bulls are locked in on both sides of the ball, because if they're not, if they come out with a slow start, things like that, it can get real ugly for the Bulls. Vincent Harris says, hot take, Bulls will win the next 4 games. Now, you just said the other day that your hot take was they were going to win the next 3. Now you think they're going to win the next 4? I need some consistency, Vincent. That's what I need from you. But our next 4 games are Denver, New Orleans, Orlando, and Boston. That's the next 4 games. If the Bulls do go 4-0 in that stretch, that is a hell of a stretch. You got to look at it. All those teams are right now projected to be playoff teams. Denver, definitely. New Orleans, definitely. Orlando, the way they've been playing so far. They're 4-9, so we'll see. Where do they sit in the standings? That would be the one game that's probably a down game is the Orlando Magic, but I believe, I don't know, they're outside of even the play-in. I thought that East is real tight. So outside of that Orlando game, every other team is really projected to be a playoff team as of right now if the playoffs started right now. So that's a hell of a stretch. Then we got Milwaukee, OKC, Utah, Phoenix, and Golden State all after that, the Golden State game being a nationally televised game on ESPN. DT was looking good in his first G League game. I like he's down there so that way he can be ready when we call him back up or in case of an injury. Well, I mean, keep in mind, the G League level of competition is so vastly different from the NBA level of competition, and Dalen Terry should look good down there. Hell, look at and the reason, and again, I'm not saying that he won't, but I'm just putting this in perspective. For example, Marko Simonovic, this latter half of the season dominated the G League last season, and he's looked damn good in the G League so far, but we know he can't crack the NBA rotation, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a 1-for-1. But I do think that Dalen Terry getting minutes, going down there, being able to work on the shot. Really, the offense was really built around him in that first G League game. If you actually watch it, I don't know if you just saw the stats or if you watched it. If you actually watched that game, almost everything went through Dalen Terry. He made Marco a better player, got him easier buckets. Same thing with Kostas Antetokounmpo. And what I saw down there from Dalen Terry in that game was just that Swiss Army knife type potential that he has. Dalen Terry may not always score the 18 points, especially not at the NBA level, but Dalen Terry is definitely going to be a player that gets you like 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block in there. Like, he's just that type of player, and I'm glad he's able to get down there. We need Jay Crowder. No, we don't need. See, you guys know, I'm very particular with words. When you say need, we don't need Jay Crowder. Now, could he help this team? Yeah, there's definitely potential that he could. But Jay Crowder isn't the player that his reputation leads you to believe. He's still a solid bench and role player. But keep in mind, part of the reason why he wants out of Phoenix is because he didn't want to accept a bench role. And that's really what he is at this point in his career. When you look at his shooting splits, when you look at his percentages, when you look at his efficiency, he's not a starter level player in the NBA anymore. He's just not. I know some people are going to say, well, he should start. He's going to be more consistent than Patrick Williams. But, hey, you guys kill Patrick Williams when he gets 10 points. Jay Crowder ain't even going to get you that. Not anymore. Not at this point in time. So, not to say that I disagree with the we need. We can definitely use him. But even then, Jay Crowder is still only a 6'6" power forward. We all talk about small ball all the time, right? It doesn't eliminate the small ball portion of our game. And he doesn't provide the three-point shooting that I would want to see the Bulls bring in. But again, not to say that he's a bad player. Will he definitely be more useful than somebody like a Tony Bradley? Yeah. But the Bulls aren't going to trade for Jay Crowder. At the best is that if the Suns realize that no team's going to trade for him, considering he's about to be a free agent, maybe they buy him out. But the Bulls definitely are not trading for Jay Crowder. I can guarantee you that. Shay, don't you love it when you trade for a player that is just a throw-in and then that ends up being your best player, kind of like Javonte? He wasn't your best player. But, I mean, if you mean the best player in the deal, yeah, I mean, he was just the throw-in in that deal. And he's far exceeded anything else that we got in that trade, and he's the one that stuck around. Chi-Town Javier says, still pissed about that Bears game. Bro, you and me both. That Bears game had me so frustrated, mainly because there was so much hope in that game, right? And it got snatched away. Snatched away completely. But nonetheless, it happens. It kind of is what it is there. At the end of the day, this team's going to have to perform. The Bears are going to have to perform. They're going to have to. And this season was never meant to be about wins. It was about development. And Justin Fields looked damn good in that game. But we're here to talk about the Bulls. Let's focus on the Bulls. It's that Brandon L. Jet in the building. He says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Brandon? Who left a hell of a voicemail today for the first time on the mailbag episode that I got to play. Great voicemail from Brandon L. Jet. They're one of the biggest supporters, if not the biggest supporter of this channel. What is that? Do you think Bulls will make playoffs? Yes. Period. Yes. How would you feel if Laurie becomes an all-star and Levine, Debo misses out? They're not going to both miss out. And I don't give a fuck. Laurie isn't a Bulls player anymore, and he wasn't going to be a Bulls player. I don't get into the thing like I think sometimes as sports fan we do this thing where it's verse this, and we compare these things when it's a completely different situation. Laurie went to a team with no expectations, and he was kind of the Javante. Laurie was a throw-in in that deal. He was there to make what they wanted was Colin Sexton in that deal. So, it's cool. He's playing great, and shout out to Laurie for improving his game. Let's see if it sticks through the whole season, but I wouldn't feel any way. He's not a Bulls player. I don't give a damn. Justin Shelton says, what up, Haize and chat? What's going on, Justin? Brendan Eljet, I was nervous as fuck in that voicemail. I don't know why, bro. This is talking to family at this point. I know this is old news, but when we play the Milwaukee Bucks, I just want to bro, come on, get off this. We don't even know if they're apparently shopping Grayson Allen, so we don't even know if Grayson Allen's going to be there anymore. Of course, the Bulls going to make the playoffs as a 4th or 5th seed. They definitely have the chance to be a 6th seed as well. I like to be realistic, but they do have a chance there. Trey Miller, no, he's not. That's stupid. He's not a bust at all. That's dumb. I know I give Zach a hard time, but let me ask, does Zach's 30-plus point per games have the same kind of team impact as Giannis' point per game? It feels like Zach's overall performance doesn't. No, that's stupid. That's a bit harsh. But no, Zach, you can't have a 30-point game and doesn't say that it impacts. It's still a team sport. And at the end of the day, the Milwaukee Bucks have a better team built around Giannis, period. Now, Giannis is a generational player. So to compare Zach LaVine, who is not a generational player, Zach LaVine is just a damn good player. Of course, Giannis should have a bigger impact because he's a generational type player. So yeah, there's tiers, right? There's tiers to things. And Giannis is just the caliber of player that Zach LaVine is not, period. I don't think anybody in fairness would dispute that. Zach LaVine is not the caliber of player that a Giannis Antetokounmpo is. And that's because of both sides of the ball. So it's not just the fact that Giannis drops 30. It's the fact that Giannis also plays amazing defense. He has a better team around him. Things like that. That plays a big part in there as well. Again, this is dumb as fuck. This is honestly stupid. Like, I'm sorry, Trey Miller. I know you're around here a lot, but this is dumb. This is literally stupid. I think Lonzo was just scratching the surface of his potential. People forget he came into the league at second with sky high potential. I don't think people forget that. I think realistic basketball fans understand that Lonzo Ball is still very young and still has a lot of developing, still has parts of his game that we didn't utilize, that the Pelicans damn sure didn't utilize. So yeah, he still has tons of potential. As I've said, even with people like P. Will, is that every year that ceiling of your potential gets a little bit lower. And that's just natural. It gets a little bit lower. Every time you don't hit it, it gets a little bit lower, right? And Lonzo still has every chance to be one of the best point guards in the league, especially one of the best two-way players. And maybe, I would say this, Lonzo has the defensive potential to be the best defense, the most versatile defender in the league. But he has to stay on the court to do so. He has to stay on the court to do so. What's the main thing you want to see the Bulls do in today's game? Play solidly for 4 quarters of basketball. That's what I want to see. 4 quarters of basketball. That's what I want to see be played. What is wrong with Chicago Bears fans tripping on Alex Cruz all of a sudden now? Look, I understand he's not shooting the ball well, but Jesus Christ, anybody ever notice he's not a shooter? Well, that's the thing, though, right? Is that he is taking a lot of he's starting to take less shots. But it's still right to criticize a player that is taking tons of shots and that's not hitting it effectively. But I think I would hope that most Bulls fans realize that that's not Alex Caruso's role. That's not his biggest benefit to the team. He's never been a volume shooter for the course of his career. So he shouldn't be forced to be a big-time shooter. Alex Caruso is a player that he can be a rhythm shooter. He can take some open shots for you. But every other aspect of his game is great. And that's what he brings to this team. Bulls need to keep their composure regardless of the rest, move without the ball, rebound, and play solid defense. That's what they need to do this game. Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, is it realistic to build a championship team? I think you need, much like with DeMar, Zach can be the 1A and 1B. I think you need a player probably just as good as Zach, and then a bunch of very solid role players. Like, the way that I look at it is this. if Zach is going to be the main or one of the main guys, right? You have to have, like I said, you have to have one player just as good, if not maybe a little bit better than him, but then the rest of your roster has to be super solid and thorough. So it definitely can happen. It has to take putting the right pieces together and having the right team around that, right? But, we'll see. We'll see. AC could make shots last. No, he didn't. No. See, this is where sometimes as fans, right? And this is me too. I'm not just saying this to you. This is everyone. We got to look at things realistically. We so much so talk through things honestly out the side of our necks and at being in a place of reactionary. Alex Caruso really didn't shoot the ball much better last season. He's taking more shots this season, which is contributing to that. But let's look at the raw numbers of it. So last season, Alex Caruso took 6.2 shots per game and hit that at a 39% clip. This season, 4.2, hitting at a 32% clip. So that is a 7% drop, which is significant. The three-pointer, 33% versus 31%. But the usage rate is the key here. The usage rate of Alex Caruso is 2 points higher than what it was last season, even though he's technically taking less shots. What that means is that when he's out on the court, more things are going through him. He's playing outside of his role. But Alex Caruso has never been this hugely efficient shooter. 33% is not effective. 39% from the field is okay. That's last season. He's never been a huge, effective volume shooter. He just hasn't been. Yo, Haize, who would you say on the Bulls is the most out of place, and who would you replace them with? I mean, technically, a lot of players is playing out of what is probably a more natural position for them. I really don't know, bro. Give me some time to think on that. Playing most out of play. Patrick Williams is definitely up there because I think when you look, but Patrick doesn't realize it yet either. Like, Patrick is a point forward that's not playing point forward. And I think once he starts doing that, we'll see. I've said it before. I've given the stat a lot. When you play through Patrick Williams and he gets double-digit touches, he averages 18.7 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 4.5 assists per game. I have that in my head. That, when you think about that, right? And that's what fourth overall picks usually get. So basically what we're saying is that what we have seen by the statistics, if you play through Patrick Williams, he's going to get you close to 19, 6, and 5. That's what most people would expect from a fourth overall pick. But the difference is he came into the team. Offense wasn't built around him at all in his rookie season. He was learning. He then switched positions in his second season, which I think people overlooked as well, even though I think Billy Donovan uses the power forward similar to how most coaches use the small forward. But that being said, still switched positions. Then got hurt, only played in 17 games or so. Still is getting used to that. And yeah, he did regress at the beginning of the season, but he's starting to get back to that. So I think if P. Will went to a team that wasn't trying to compete, like for example, if he went to the Bulls 2 years earlier when they were just straight rebuilding, minus Jim Boylan, I think we would see a completely different P. Will by now because he would have been forced to have the ball in his hands. Super Duper Danko says, Haize, my boy, we about to go on our first win streak of the season. I'm calling, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. Sean the Great says, is Drummond back? He played one game so far. He didn't look the best in that game, but he has played one game so far. Listen, Shay, stop with the guarantees, bro. Just say, hey, I think that they'll buy him out. Stop guaranteeing. You don't have the basketball acumen to be guaranteeing stuff, bro. You just don't. But with that being said, have you seen Harrison Barnes play this season, though? And it could be that he's just not motivated because he's not on a team that's really expected to do much, right? But Harrison Barnes is not playing good this season, bro. He's playing okay. It's not terrible, but he's not playing great. Harrison Barnes, in 11 games played so far this season, is shooting 40% from the field, which is down 6% from last season, 21% from three, which is down 18% from last season. He's only taken 1.5 shots less per game. And he's averaging 11 points per game where he averaged 16 points last season. Harrison Barnes isn't playing great this season. He's playing marginally okay. Now, as a bench player, it's completely different. But he's a starter putting that up. It's not too good, man. It's okay. But he does seem like Harrison Barnes is starting to regress some. What, you can't go all in on a free agent. Like, you can't go all in on a free agent that you'll offer the veteran minimum to. But could they take a look at him? Possibly. But at this point, I don't think that they will. A long break after the hardest and most grueling schedule in the league. Finally got a few quality practices in. My expectations have risen, as they should. As they absolutely should. Shea worse than Chuck with the guarantees, but I applaud the homie's confidence. That's from Brandon. That's crazy. No, we can't, because again, you still have to play. Like, do you remember last season when, the things started going, like, it's a trend. Now you can work yourself out of a trend, but no, you still compare it, because what happened last season versus this, that's how you start off, right? You guys were definitely doing it to Zach. So no, you still compare it. Now, that doesn't mean that the player can't work themselves out, but that drastic of a leap, we're not talking about being off, and this is a veteran. So this isn't somebody you like, oh, well, they just need to start and get warm. The point of veterans on teams is that they come in ready to go. So no, you still compare it to that. With the aspect, that's why I did say with 11 games played so far. Okay, let me ask you this. What does Kemba Walker offer the Bulls? A team that's already playing small. A team that has too many guards already. What is Kemba Walker going to offer the Bulls? Because everybody keeps using this Kemba Walker thing. The Bulls should take a look at Kemba Walker thing. And I don't know if this is one of those things again, because I love Bulls fans, but we have this terrible thing as a community of doing that once a rumor comes out, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, you know what? We need Kemba Walker. Why? What has Kemba Walker done, and how has he played in a way that at all says he's going to help the Bulls get out of their rut? What is he going to offer the Bulls? It'd be different if Caruso was down. It'd be different if we didn't have Io. It'd be different if we didn't have Goran Dragic, who's balling his ass off. What is Kemba Walker and his 11.6 points per game from last season going to do for the Chicago Bulls right now? He's not the 20 point per game scorer that he was before. I actually have a whole episode on that, brother. The mailbag from Saturday, somebody asked that question. So, Juan Miller, Haize, what's your thoughts if the Bulls got Ime Udoka? They're not coming off Billy Donovan this season. It's not doing it. The Bulls aren't doing it. It's not happening. Because keep in mind, this not front office, this ownership is cheap. You still have to pay a coach their full salary when you cut them. There's no way that they're going to pay a full salary for two coaches right now. They're not going to do it. Not when there's only a year left. Now, if the Bulls, for some reason, let's say they lose the next 15 games, is there a chance then? Absolutely. But I don't think they're going to play that bad. Kemba Walker, bro? No. How about DeMarcus Cousins can't play the 4 at this point in time? We got Drummond already. Joe the Blacksmith says, it's weird that we have too many guards but not enough shooters. That might be the worst dynamic of this team. Yeah, the shooting is weird for a couple of different reasons, right? Io's three-point shooting has improved drastically this season. But you have Zach, who should also be a shooter. We definitely need more shooting on this team for sure. Shay, again, stop talking from rumors? We don't know that. What we heard is that the Bulls were listening to, there's a difference between shopping and there's a difference between listening for offers. The difference is, for those that don't know, when you hear that a team is shopping, that means they are actively calling like, hey, man, we're trying to get rid of this Kobe contract. Hey, we're trying to do this. And there's a difference between listening and offers, meaning, hey, yeah, well, if you call us about it, we'll listen to you. And keep in mind, AK, it's all come out. They did not get a deal for of their liking during the offseason. And guess what? Kobe has come in. He's now hurt. And then on top of that, he's having the worst start to the season after the first time of him having a full training camp. The talk all around Kobe this offseason from Stacey King, from Casey Johnson, from everybody was, oh, well, this is Kobe White's first time having a full training camp. He came out of having his first full training camp and had the worst start to his season so far in the league. It's going to be hard, and not to say that you can't trade him. If they just wanted anything for Kobe, he could be moved tomorrow. But if you want value back for Kobe, the Bulls aren't going to, the Bulls are better off at this point letting restricted free agency play out, wait to see what he gets out in restricted free agency, and taking a look and saying, hey, he only got a $9 million offer. Let's go ahead and match that for 2 years. Or you say, hey, this team gave Kobe White a $13 million offer sheet. We're not going to match that because at that point we'll be paying $101 million in just guards, and our shooting still isn't good. But what we can do, we're going to turn that into a sign. Let's offer a sign and trade. We can get them a little bit of extra money because then at that point it's a sign and trade. We can take something back for you. For those that think that Kobe White is going to be traded, I'm not sure. Yes, no. So 2023 is this upcoming draft. We don't have our pick. We owe our pick to the Magic in our upcoming draft, but we do have Portland Trailblazers pick if they make the playoffs, which as of right now, they are a playoff team. That's why we should be rooting for the Portland Trailblazers. As of right now, the Portland Trailblazers are the third team in the Western Conference with only 13 games played. But if they, we don't even need them. What we really should be rooting for is that the Portland Trailblazers make it in as the 8th seed, because if they do make it in as the 8th seed, that means that we're going to get the highest right outside the lottery, but we still get that pick. That's why I don't think they're going to trade that pick. This is a good choice of words, Drew. Bushell, Ime Udoka would be a real hands-on teacher that we need. Well, part of the reason why he got in trouble and he's not coaching right now is because he was too hands-on. And I don't think this Bulls team is going to move, just like with the controversy with the Nets. And the Nets have an ownership group in Joe Tsai that really just this offseason said, fuck you to the players' empowerment movement. And he continues to say it to it. I don't think the Bulls would welcome what the stuff around Ime Udoka right now as they're trying to change the culture of this team. Austin says, how many total picks? We just got the one, possibly the Portland pick, and that's it. We don't have any second round picks, so either we're going to have the Portland pick or we're going to have no picks this draft. Would you be open to trading Zone going for some? No, they're not trading Zone. No, it's not going to happen. They're not trading Lonzo Ball, and even then, his trade value is probably right now at an all-time all-time low. In your opinion, what is it that we need to be contenders in the East? Not just talking about players, but overall, you think our players don't have enough ambition, coach? Are they not focused? I think they have to. We've seen from this team, when they are locked in, can be a top 10 offensive and a top 10 defensive team. And now with this bench that they have, right, I think they could potentially be a player taking a leap or acquisition away from being a contender, but they have to keep up that defensive intensity, and we haven't seen them do that consistently yet. They have to stop the droughts. They have to stop the 3, 4, 5 minute scoring droughts. The 3 minutes are okay. That's pretty regular. Almost every team goes through a 2.5 to 3 minute drought at some point in the game. But the fact the Bulls go on these 4 or 5 and sometimes 6 minute scoring droughts while they can't stop the other team, they got to work on that. They really got to work on that. PB and Patch, that's actually not true. We actually got over the weekend a positive update about Kobe White. It seems like now, whereas before Kobe wasn't even close to coming back, it seems like now at this point, Kobe White's just dealing with some discomfort, kind of like what Andre Drummond was, but the thigh is healing. It's not as tender as it was before. So we did get a positive update on that over the course of the weekend. Yeah, but keep in mind, Austin. So Austin says this, damn, that's tough. Next year's draft is looking better, in my opinion, than this year. So many underrated talents. AK Mark could still, if Portland make it. Well, keep in mind, too, we do have our own draft pick next year. And the thing with next year's is is that that is the rumored year that the Bulls are going to start. I mean, the NBA is going to start allowing high school players to enter the draft again. So that means we basically going to have a double draft in 2024 when the Bulls do have their own first round pick. Because at that point, you're getting the one and dones from college, but you're also getting the high school players. And that's actually smart that the Bulls do have their draft pick then, because they have their own first round pick. So you could technically get a lottery level pick in any other draft still in the 20s. We may see lottery level talent drafted in still the first couple of picks in the second round in that draft. So while this year's upcoming draft does look better than last year's, next year's draft is going to be chock full of talent, and the Bulls do own their own first-round pick in 2024. So the best-case scenario is both happen. We get the Portland pick this year, and next year we get to take advantage of that double draft. Brandy Nicole says they need to be efficient and close teams out. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't know there was an update until the last time I read about it. Good to hear. Yes, it's definitely good to hear. It's definitely the most positive update we've heard about Kobe White's healing since the injury really happened. Thad Young is just sitting on the bench in Toronto. Well, no, he's playing. I mean, he played against us. I don't watch very many Toronto Raptors games, mainly because Toronto Raptors fans are literally the epitome of hell. But, I haven't even talked about the Toronto Raptors yet on NBA Central, just because Raptors fans are literally fucking trash, bro. Like, they're literally the Drake fans of basketball, and it's so funny. They're just idiots, but nonetheless. I asked, I already said this. No, I don't think Kobe White gets traded this year. I don't think he gets moved this season. I think they're going to let it play out in restricted free agency. What up, everyone? What's going on? A666A, because, bro, you and that name be killing me. Austin, I agree, Haize. Well said. For now, we just got to root for our own players and hope Billy Donovan plays Paul in the final clutch minutes because of his defensive abilities. Facts. Damien, everybody should be rested, so we should have a damn good game. I would hope so. If they come out flat this game, I'm almost going to lose hope for the first quarters of the game. We're just going to be a bad first quarter team. Jamal, another step in P. Will's growth will be when he realizes that attacking his man on offense will make it easier for him on defense. Great point there, Jamal. I think he's starting to realize, we're starting to see P. Will just be a smarter player, right? And that aggressiveness is naturally coming from being a smarter player. I think so much as Bulls fans, we focus on terms like he needs that dog, right? He needs that dog. We need P. Will to be aggressive. When really, I think in this, when you have the basketball IQ, when you know, hey, if I go up there and get this rebound, I literally can jump right back up and put it up strong, and I'm probably going to get the foul if I don't get the bucket, right? That's also an intelligence thing. As P. Will's intelligence level grows with the game, I think that other thing that we want to see from him is going to start being pretty solid. What's your issue with Drake? I mean, I don't have an issue with Drake. I have an issue with Drake fans, which I clearly just said. And that is because Drake fans aren't hip-hop fans, tend to put Drake in conversations hip-hop wise that he just doesn't belong in. And Toronto Raptors fans do the same thing with the Raptors because they won their one title. Drake you can't deny what Drake did as an artist, but as a rapper, as an MC, Drake ain't it. Yulia, hi from Australia, Haize. Excited for today's game. I really hope I can come to Chicago next year to watch it in person. That's my dream at the moment. I really hope they don't change the team too much. I love our guys. Well spoken, Yulia. Well spoken. Brandon L. Jet, which do you think needs the more adjustments? Bulls' first quarter woes or the fourth quarter clutch decisions? Well, even though we're a bad first quarter team, we're only getting outscored on the first quarter by average deficit of -3. We're getting scored by -19 in fourth quarters. So everything that I'm going to say in the fourth quarter is the biggest issue. And we're one of the best teams in third quarters. We outscore teams by 13 points in third quarters on average. So we need to be a better fourth quarter team. Mike, Dalen Terry going to realistically make any impact this season? I don't know. I go back and forth on it all the time. I really don't know, bro. I really don't know. I'm happy we got Bulls fans globally. Twitter is going to blow up the day the Bulls play in Paris. 90% are going to be there for for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Got a strong buzz going into this game, so don't hesitate to block me from the post game if we end up losing and I'm drunk. That's hilarious. Brandy Nicole, what do you think about? No, Dragic doesn't need to start over Ayo. He's just not the defensive player. And the part of what makes Dragic so potent is he's playing against bench players. So no, Ayo needs to continue to be the starter, in my opinion. Haize, do you think the Bulls would have kept Wendell Carter Jr.? No. Would have or should have? They wouldn't. It wasn't going to happen. Wendell Carter was not performing here. This team was trying to make moves to get this team to be a surefire playoff team. And keep in mind, I think people forget too, the Bulls would have made the playoffs that first year that we traded for Vooch had Zach LaVine not gone down with COVID and was out for like 19 days with COVID. It was wild. Jonathan Aegis, do you think Caruso was? No, because Caruso lives up to every bit of the hype defensively, every bit of it. He was never here to be an offensive player. For anyone that thought that Caruso was going to come in here and be this offensive juggernaut, that's a bit of an exaggeration. But for anybody who thought he was going to come in here and be this offensive player, that was never what he was brought in here for. That's just not what he was brought in here for. I mean, Happy Dalen has a great mindset as a rookie. Other rookies would have acted a different way. He is a dog, and I can't wait for him to be ready to go. Well-spoken, PB and Patch. Definitely well-spoken. Caruso's, no, we just talked about this earlier. He's actually gotten worse in just about every measurable statistic so far this season. But that's offensively. Defensively, he's everything that we need him to be defensively. Everything that we need him to be defensively. So I look at it this way, is that you can't have it both usually, right? If Caruso was as good offensively as he is defensively, he'd be one of the better players in the league. One of the best players in the league. Not just one of the best role players or bench players. He would literally be, because of how good his defensive metrics are, if he was as good scoring wise or shooting the ball wise, he'd literally be starting on most teams. So he's paid appropriate to his skill level. I asked because their starters seem to drag with intensity on offense. Dragic gets the shit moving. They can definitely be, but I mean, that's something they need to work out. Has there been any new timeline for Zoe? No. So keep in mind, Zoe, I think this is now the 5-week mark, I believe. So they said he'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. And almost anytime they say that, it's always the latter half of that. So don't expect to hear anything for probably another week or two. Yeah, don't expect to hear anything from another week or two. Juan Miller asks, can Marco play? Oh, he plays the 4 in the G League because he plays next to Kostas Antetokounmpo at times. He can definitely play the 4 in the G League, and I think he can play some 4 if he gets his defense together in the NBA as well. Thanks for having my back in that argument with Josh Jackson, man. People are not giving Ayo his defense. Well, I don't think so. Josh Jackson is a Lonzo Ball stand, and that's fine, right? People stand players. I don't agree with standing anybody, I believe, with honest evaluation. But hey, that's what he is, and that's why in that conversation I told him, like, why is Zoe even coming in when we're talking about Ayo and his defense this season? He's going to have to play a few. No, he's not going to play any. Lonzo Ball won't play any G League game. Now, you may hear, much like with Patrick Williams last year, before he returned to injury, he was assigned to the G League just to get some practices in while the team's traveling. But Lonzo Ball is not playing any G League games. He's not playing any G League games. PB and Patch, Kosta's looking good in the games I watch. His potential skill needs to improve. Also his game, but I disagree, bro. But it's playing with Dalen made Kostas look better. Those first two G League. Now, did I watch the third one? Because they played 5 now. I think. I know I watched the first 2. I think I skipped the third one. But Kostas has not he's looked cool, but he just looks like a guy to me, right? But like I tell you guys all the time, my opinion holds no more weight than yours. Oh, you guys are having a conversation about Dragic. Lakers fans tell me the reason why they are losing is because they are tanking. That was, anybody who tells you, if they're a Lakers fan and say, oh, we're tanking, all you got to do is say for what? And how they respond is going to tell you everything you need to know. Because if they don't pay attention to basketball, they're going to be like, oh, so we can get Victor Wembanyama. And that's when you respond, well, you do know you guys don't own your own first-round pick, right? So you're just trying to give Wembanyama to the Pelicans? That's what you should say. Or they're going to say, oh, yeah, we're tanking, so we can trade. Like, it's just stupid. There's no way around it. Dalen Terry is going to be with Michael Carter Williams. No. What are you talking about? They're completely different players. Michael Porter Jr. is the player he was supposed to be, a high-level scorer. Dalen Terry is not supposed to be a high-level scorer. He's supposed to be a player that plays with that dog and probably an elite defender and a player with great playmaking. But Michael Porter Jr. would – oh, you said Michael Carter – my bad, bro. I need to read better. Michael Carter Williams, I still disagree with that too because I think Dalen Terry has way more offensive upside shooting-wise than Michael Carter Williams, but I can understand what you mean with that. Here comes Marvin with his long-ass, thoughtful-ass comment. Okay, guys, we are rested. We should be prepared. We should play a good game tonight. Just for the record, these are the games that show our true colors, guys. Another team, we need this one. There you go. That's stupid. That's literally dumb. Not by you. I'm saying the Lakers doing that is dumb. Not your question or your statement, but yeah. Brandon L. Jet, I hope Vooch really takes it to Joker on offense. Vooch actually plays pretty good against Jokic, if I'm remembering correctly. Give me 1 second. Let's see. So Vucevic averages 18.3 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and right at a block a game against his 9 games he's played against Nikola Jokic so far in their careers. That's pretty well. Now, I know Jokic averages more than that himself. I think Jokic averages like 23 against Vooch, but, there goes the numbers. My boy Marvin used every word possible on these chats. Listen, Marvin be preaching, bro. Marvin, you know what? I wonder if Marvin is a junior pastor in his real life. He gotta be. King Kofu says, "What up, Haize? Late to the broadcast, so you may have spoke on this. Do you think Acme is gonna make a move considering they sent Marco and Dalen to the G League, who may either be no. What? No. So, okay, keep in mind, Marco and Dalen Terry have guaranteed contracts, so no matter where they are, it doesn't open up another roster spot because they're still contracts. But no, and Marco's been in the G League, but Dalen's down there, so Billy Donovan already said it, so he can get practices in and stuff like that. That's it. So no, I don't think a move's coming at all. Off topic, the Bulls got mentioned in Black Panther 2. Twice they got mentioned in Black Panther 2. Yeah, I mean, Billy Donovan alluded to that. He's going to go up and down. Jamal, you talk about, both of y'all. Listen, You saying that is like you and Marvin pointing at each other with the Spider-Man meme, right? Y'all both be talking the whole 3 minutes. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Like every single bit of it. Both of y'all have mini podcasts on my podcast. But listen, and I fuck with y'all because the content be on point. It be well thought out. It be on point. So keep sending them. But both of y'all long-winded as hell, brother. Both of y'all long-winded as hell. We be having a lot to say. Definitely. That is for sure. Brandon, Jamal be preaching an angry revival. No. Ricky Carroll be the one preaching the angry revival. Like Ricky Carroll, listen, I say Ricky Carroll is the evil version of Marvin. Like literally. Fucking trash. That's what the Atlanta series finale was. Garbage, trash, bullshit, bad. Any other word you want to use between that? Not good, bro. That matter of fact, that whole second half of that last season was garbage. But Atlanta, as a show overall, still amazing. One of the best shows to ever do it. One of the most unique shows. There's never going to be another show like Atlanta. But yeah. We need that Marvin versus Angry Ricky interview. That's funny. You will never see them in the same place at the same time. Can we sue the ball in our 251 million guys instead of Debo at the end of the game? What? Can we sue the ball in our... Oh, gotcha. Can we sue the ball in Zach LaVine's... My brain. Listen, it's been a long-ass day. Long-ass weekend. Listen, I still think it should be through Vooch in crunch time. That's just I think it should be through Vooch in crunch time. Ricky was I heard, but no, who really raised hell is Bobby's auntie. She literally was like, yeah, nephew, why the fuck does Billy, like, that's how she started off. I was like, whoa, wow. We just went right in. See, that makes more sense. Listen, I figured it out. My brain's a little slow, but we figured it out. And first of all, Zach is, 215 mil. Listen, typos, man, it happens, bro. You're going to have typos too, Laxus Garza. Leave Brandy alone. Don't be messing with Brandy. Cavs are getting the shit beat out of them by the Timberwolves. Yeah, Rudy Gobert out there trying to prove a point. They got murked by the Grizzlies the other day. Was that yesterday? I think that game was yesterday. But blowout to every team usually suffers a blowout of some sort during the season. It's 92-69 right now with 4 minutes left in the third. Listen, while that seems, that's not an insurmountable lead by any stretch. Not with Darius Garland and is Donovan Mitchell even playing this game? Oh, that makes sense. Donovan Mitchell isn't playing. Donovan Mitchell's out this game. So that makes sense then. It's not a big deal. They're missing Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen. Yeah, that's okay. They're all right. What the fuck is Tony Bradley doing at the end of the bitch? Praying to the Lord, I guess. I don't know. Paying his tithes and offering. Markayil? I got a feeling someone is going to get a new son tonight. Hey, listen, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. But that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We're going to get ready for the game. I will be back here for the halftime hangout. Make sure you guys are tuned in. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We're still trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday and Brandon's birthday on December 5th. Right now, the channel sits at 9,241, which means that we gained 5 subscribers during the stream. So thank you for that. If we can get to 9,300 by the end of today between the 2 streams we got left to do on the channel, I'll give away a Chicago Bulls Central shirt. But that is it for me for today. Well, for now, I'll see you guys at the halftime hangout. Go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red. Peace, y'all. I missed the whole thing on that. Make sure you follow the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail for our mailbag episodes, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. Peace, y'all.